For those of you who don't know Mike, he's got a pretty strong German heritage, and he's even the reason for Schatzi having his name, which in German is a term of endearment. It's all starting to make sense now, huh?
I travel quite often to Germany. I've been going back to Germany. My family's from there. My mom's from Berlin. My dad's from Pirmasens in the southern part of Germany in the Rhineland-Pfalz. So I've been going back to Germany quite often. When I was in Germany in May, my cousin Jens arranged for me to meet Mr. Peter. My cousin's wife Samira drove me down to Mr. Peter's distillery. We met and we ended up sitting together for about 4 hours actually chatting. And we hit it off very well, and at the end of the meeting he actually invited me back to learn how to make schnapps from him directly. Being invited was a great honor to me, and when I got back I talked to Geoff and he said, for sure we have to send you out there and get you to learn a little bit about that. Mr. Peter has his own orchards, over 2,000 trees, and he makes pear schnapps, plum schnapps, and then all kinds of grape schnapps as well, which is more like a grappa style. So limited for us. Plums we can get, but we don't grow them here in Alberta. Apples we do grow a lot of here in Alberta, and we can do an apple schnapps, so that's probably one of the first ones we're going to try working on. And then he gave me all kinds of other ideas. He says, try making it out of bananas, try making it out of kiwis. He says, experiment, don't just put yourself in one corner. So it's going to be interesting what we can come up with over the next little bit here. For a nice German schnapps, you want the alcohol vapor to move up the column and stay at the top and then come off the still at a nice slow pace. So for making schnapps, it's a little bit different technique.
From Deutschland back to the frozen Alberta tundra. We're at a new, very special location with Geoff and Chris.
Good to see you, man.
You too.
Welcome back from your trip.
Oh, yeah, to this beautiful.
Yeah, I know. It's not quite Europe weather.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that sold sticker on there. I like that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So what has it been? A couple years that we're looking at places and making offers and.
Yeah, lost out on a few, but you know, we kept at her. We stayed diligent.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us for that long period of time that it took to get this done. So
my pleasure, buddy. That's
right on.
That's what I'm here for.
Let's get these keys and get in where it's warm. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right.
Here we go, sir.
Perfect. Haha, nice, much warmer. Hey, this is a big day. Thank you very much. Very nice.
Again,
Thank you, you bet. Jordan and Seth and I came over here with Tina and had a look at it. We want to make sure we're good friends with our neighbors here too at the same time. Like, you know, there's gonna be a little more traffic on this road than they're used to. In the summertime too, like this is southwest facing. That's where your setting sun's gonna be here. That's the side that the patio's gonna be on. For the, I'm pretty excited about it, I can't lie.
If you thought you were cold before, just wait until you get to our next location. Catamount is in the heart of the Rocky Mountains and grizzly bear country.
Hey, Jake.
Geoff, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
We got up a little early to get out here this morning.
I would guess you did, yeah.
It's a nice little rip out here to Catamount. I haven't been here for a long time, actually. It's I moved from Edson back to the city about 12 years ago. But we used to come down here all the time, and two of my girls still live in Edson, and their hubbies and them are all very outdoorsy people. Yeah. So you'll see them down here pretty much every weekend. This is a nice setup. You're outside of Catamount a little bit with your trap line here.
Yeah.
How long have you had the trap line?
2010. We bought the assets to this trap line. And
why are you interested in being a trapper in 2019? When people will say to you, it's not necessary.
Probably the number one reason is because I grew up doing it.
Yes.
So that in and of itself, it basically tells you where the curiosity and the interest
started from.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I don't know what it was, but I grew up on a farm in northern Alberta. My dad, he had a small farm, and it basically backed up to Crown land.
Okay.
And so if you look at where Lacreta is geographically,
it's up there.
There's bush.
Yes.
Boreal forest, right? I had a fascination with predators.
Yeah.
And, you know, my thoughts were that I wanted to be close to them. Like I wanted to see them. I wanted to know everything about them.
How many animals would you harvest in a season on average? And you've been here almost 10 years doing this.
3 wolves and a half a dozen coyotes. If
Not
I was
a huge number of animals that you're taking here.
No.
Yeah, exactly. They do counts and that sort of thing.
largely, yeah.
So it's well managed from a population perspective. So some species isn't going to get completely wiped out, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Last night I showed up here just after midnight. So I pull in and I got my lights on the cabin, and my lights saw tracks. So you don't know if a person stumbled through here.
Oh, yeah.
So then I stop and I shine my light down, and right away I see the pigeon-toed telltale markings of a grizzly bear track. And because the heavy snow had thawed and collapsed about halfway, it gave perfect tracks.
Yeah.
So I tried to do a little bit of an inspection as to how fresh the tracks were, but regardless, he's here. Some trappers will call me, well, they might not necessarily believe in it, but I've got bear spray.
Oh.
But I carry a rifle, and I've got bear spray. Yeah. Should a person, it's a protected species now, and if a person ever ends up with a grizzly bear on the ground, you got to tell a story, right?
It's a murder investigation.
Yeah, I'm not willy-nilly as far as, I got a gun, and if a bear comes to me, I know what to do. No. There's a lot more to it than that.
For sure. Do you have that grizzly bear track that we can have a look at?
Yeah, you bet. I'm thinking that bear's hungry. Because it's a tiny little
That's
drop.
not very much compared to what I've seen. Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have some coffee, and then what we're gonna do is there's basically an 8-kilometer square right on this part of the line that I basically have access to.
Okay, cool.
And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive in kind of down this way towards town, and then we go up the hill and we go into the line, and then we'll go in there and we'll go to those 2 baits.
Sure, okay.
And today the season actually closes this weekend. So
that makes sense. Start to warm up.
Just because Bruno is out, that doesn't afford me the luxury of being able to not go in because I got cold feet.
You have to shut her down
I
this
have
weekend.
to go in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the cabin's warm. I got a fire going, and
I could go for a 9th coffee.
there you go. Let's go in.
While Geoff and Jake warm up inside with a warm cup of joe, let's head on back to that frozen distillery.
Yesterday we took a course, Distilling 101, so that was kind of, Kevin and I have been doing a lot of reading, but you can only get so far doing reading, just reading stuff, so we wanted to actually come here, get our feet wet, and so we took the Distilling 101 course. It was great, a little bit overwhelming at times, but good. We learned lots, got lots of a good experience, and we're getting more today, so it's been really good.
I'm from New Brunswick originally, transplanted Maritimer in Alberta since 1983, and I've got some family still back in the Maritimes, so this is my cousin Kevin and his brother Ross, and these gentlemen are looking at maybe getting fired up in New Brunswick, getting one of these going there, so we're going to help them get started. We got some good ideas for bottle design and product design, that sort of thing. So they flew out this week to do some training. I think you're learning something, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
I was worried yesterday that we maybe threw too much information at you too fast, but it all sunk in.
It's like drinking through a fire hose.
Just open up and take it. Yeah. So today, you guys learned on the smaller size equipment. Today, Grant's training you up a little bit more on upsizing.
Yeah.
So instead of moving 2 5-gallon pails of mash this morning, you're moving around 2,000 liters. So it's a whole different animal, but it's the same technology, just on a larger scale. So.
Yeah, that's it. It was actually super helpful. I didn't actually realize how much I learned how we started doing the bigger scale, and I was like, oh yeah, we did all this yesterday.
Ross has the beard and the apron on. He looks like a distiller there. Kevin's got the apron, but can you grow a beard? That's what I was wondering. You might not be distiller material.
I had a lot of fun on the business trips going to make schnapps with Mr. Peter. We would do 3-4 runs together, and of course his motto is probieren, 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 which means try, 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 or taste, taste, taste in this case. So got to try a lot of different schnapps through the day. Just a finger dip though at the end. It's just a finger dip, so it's always safe to get home. Working with Mr. Peter was a lot of fun, actually. He's a pretty laid-back guy. He's retired now, though you'd never know it because he works almost every day. but he's doing something that he loves. So pretty laid back. We did have to work pretty hard, especially when we were making the grappa. We were actually loading the still by bucket, so we'd have to chip out the grapes and throw them into the still while it was already hot. Add water to it, do the run, and at the end of the run we would have to empty it again while it was still really, really hot, boiling hot basically. So yeah, pails and pails of grapes back and forth for the whole day. It was a lot of fun, but a lot of work too. Yeah, working here at the distillery, we've got some modern technology, augers and stuff, some pumps that move things a little bit easier for us. It's nice to come home to those things, but it's also nice to learn how to do it the traditional way, you know, and putting the pails in there. And I got my testing done on the Thursday. Mr. Peter would ask me to come over and test the alcohol coming off the still and ask me if it was good or bad. And I'd give him my opinion, and then he would say, "Yep, Mike, that's what I chose too. It was good." And then the next run he would do it again. He would test me again. He said, "Mike, test good or bad?" And this time it was bad, I thought. So I said, "No, this one's no good." And he says, "Yep," patted me on the shoulder and said, "You can work with me anytime." The trip to Germany was great on many aspects. I got to visit all my cousins. I got to visit a couple of my aunts that I haven't seen for a long time. And seeing my family grow with my cousins' families was really nice. It was a huge honor for me to be invited back by Mr. Peter to learn from a true master that has over 300 awards over the years that he's been distilling. He learned from his father. At the age of 6, he started to learn how to make schnapps, and now he's passing that tradition on to me, which was a great honor. It was a little sad the day I left, actually. I felt a little sad. I wanted to stick around for a little bit longer in one way, but I also wanted to get back home to my family here and share the knowledge that I learned from this master. So it was a great honor and a lot of fun. Great trip. Yeah, that last day with Mr. Peter, he actually said, "You can work with me anytime. You got a job if you need one." And he invited me back again to teach me a little bit more, and maybe he said I should bring Geoff along for the next trip. So hopefully I can talk Geoff into coming down there with me and maybe learning a little bit more from him. There's a lot to learn from him. He has 50 years of experience, over 50 years of experience, and 7 to 10 days is just not enough to get all that information from a master's.
Earlier, we showed you what Mr. Curry actually does for a career. It's time to see what his horseradish seawater swill turned into.
Mr. Curry, we're finally at the end of this long voyage. How are your hands from all that filtering you've done for the last how bloody long has it been?
A little sore. We're okay.
Yeah, you're all pickled up now?
Pickled up, yeah, we can use that.
So today is the day that we find out if this stuff is good or not. We've got our friend Kevin here. O'Connell from Global News is here. Friend of yours, a neighbor, I understand, out at the lake.
Close friend, good neighbor.
And a Caesar
knows his
expert
Caesars. Yes,
what
he
I
does.
understand. So we're going to get some feedback from you on whether what we've done here is up to snuff or not.
Heard a lot about it. Looking forward to tasting.
So you've got kind of a special way you mix these up, right?
I got my own, we take a twist on it here and there, but I like my horseradish in it. I like my pickle juice in it. You got to have the fixins, the pickled bean, the asparagus, the carrots, the beef jerky.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
All right,
the lemon
well,
juice.
go to town. I'll help you out. I'll run the glass for you. So we like to use this hog spice rimmer made by a fella in Millet. We use local as much as we can.
Perfect.
A little bit of lemon juice on there. There you go.
All right, we'll just dump some ice in there.
And lots of times we'll garnish with a garnish from our friend Joanna at Mojo Jojo's Pickles, usually a spicy bean or something like that.
Yeah.
Today we're going to garnish with some beef jerky from Wilhoek Beef Jerky in Leduc. So I think you're going to enjoy that. Nice and salty.
Nice and good. So,
all right, what are we going to build here?
It all started with, as you know, the garlic vodka. So we're gonna do a little.
Oh, you're doing mixing.
We're gonna do a little mix.
It's not just gonna be the pickled horseradish. All right. I like this.
Just twist it up. I mean, you're gonna get the pickled horseradish in there. We know that, but because we add garlic.
How are we gonna know for sure that if it's really good, it's from the pickled horseradish? If it has the best Caesar vodka in it already, the garlic vodka. You might be piggybacking on my success.
Now
here.
it's gonna be not just come in for the garlic. They're gonna come in for the garlic and
the pickled horseradish.
So it's gonna be a
all right. Make it work.
two-stepper.
You're shaking a little bit there.
No, not too bad.
Are you excited? Or?
I'm very excited.
Might have been a long night with Kevin last night.
Fair enough. Well, you had to rehearse for this, did you? Yeah.
Well, we had to practice.
So just typical mix up here with some Tabasco and some Worcestershire
Little
sauce.
Worcester.
So there you go. All right.
Mr. O'Connell.
This is the moment of truth here.
Taste test. Here we go.
Let us see what you think.
Oh, there's a whole lot of good flavor.
There we go. All right. You didn't spit it on the floor. That's a good sign.
You can taste the garlic. You can taste the horseradish.
You can taste them both, yeah.
It's a nice blend in there as well.
Very good. What do you think of that rimmer? Have you had a rimmer like that before?
No, that's good and salty too.
Absolutely.
And then, a little bite of the beef jerky.
Oh, yeah.
Also good. Another sip of the Caesar.
All right, let's see if we can sell some of this stuff. See if all the work was worth it or not. That's a ringing endorsement.
Highly recommended.
Excellent.
Highly recommended. Well, I think
job.
we
Nothing like a
get
good
this on the shelf.
collaboration.
Yeah, it's been a slice. I appreciate it.
Wonder
Geoff.
what
It's been
formula
awesome.
we'll do next.
We'll see where it takes us.
The imagination's the limit.
That's right.
right.
That's right.
Have you been down the trail here behind the cabin?
I've been up behind
Okay.
but everything was going to.
You know, I sent your mom a message and I asked her, I said, what are the snow conditions like? Because I wasn't sure what we were going to be driving.
It was all gone.
Well, and she said we just got a foot of fresh snow.
Yeah.
So really, at the end of the day, for me, it's going to allow all three of my machines to go. I'm glad Trail's telling me that the tracks are going that way, and we're going that way.
We're going the other way. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so there you go.
Just wanted to
Right
talk
on.
to you about that bear there. And I'll let
Appreciate
you
it.
Do your thing.
Okay, right on, Trail.
Thanks, Joe. Nice
Okay.
to meet you. You betcha. Cheers.
Right on. Have a nice day.
See ya.
We'll see ya. So the thing about the tracks is they're your best friend, but you just sort of kind of ride.
Steering wise be different, right?
Yeah. But they don't they don't go over top of stuff as well as this. You can't ride over deadfall.
I gotcha.
And any time that you see like a significant bump, you just slow it right down.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because they can break and can't go with speed, eh?
Yeah, no.
Anytime there's a hill, you're crawling. So,
No problem. I'm not a speed demon.
okay.
Well, I don't mind rolling on four wheels, but this here's something else. Maybe that future lawnmower race is evolving into something we're not quite ready for.
It's hard to find places anymore where you don't hear that buzz of vehicles and beeping and machinery working and that sort of thing. This is just peaceful. I come out to be out here.
Yeah. Well, and that'd be a good way
to teach my kids so that they can carry it on and teach their kids.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So they have this respect for nature that we have.
See that? And then when you go down like this, so right here, this is
It's just like a highway straight through there. Yeah.
it's a perfect example. And
And
there's
it looks blocked there, it looks blocked there. Yeah, I see what you mean by getting down to that level and looking better.
like if you pan around in this area, you'll be very, very hard pressed to find another opening like this. And that's what the wolf does. They'll come through an area and they'll see that opening. And if they know from a half a mile away that this is the area that they want to come and visit, as they're coming through, they just come right down here.
Away they go.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry. We're done.
You know what? That's the good thing about trapping, and that's the best part about having people with you. Take some good friends along with you. At the end of the day, you can sit down and have a coffee, a beer, and a steak, and that's all part of it.
I agree. That's what getting out in the hunting, fishing, trapping, whatever it is all about. It's the time you spend with your dad. It's the time you spend with your uncle. It's the time you spend with your daughter or your son or your best friend.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's so valuable about the time that we spend out in nature here. Jake, I gotta say thank you so much. This has been one of my best days in a long time. Haven't been in a trap line since I was about this big. And I think our viewers will be interested in learning more about what you do out here.
Awesome.
And I'd love to come back sometime if there's an
Oh,
opportunity.
you're definitely
for it.
welcome to come back
Perfect.
as soon as you guys can. I'll be here next winter, like as soon as the season opens. I'll be back here. And
Thank you very much.
okay, good to see you.
See ya.
again.
Cheers.
See you, Geoff.
I leave for 5 minutes and I come back and there's grain all over the floor. And what's going on? Who do I point the finger at?
when we were cooling it and the hose plugged up. Definitely Kevin was, I think he was checking his phone at that time.
So here's the good news. Every single person that works here has done this, plugged this thing. So, and you know, if everything went smoothly, you wouldn't learn as much, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Man, I'm so excited to get going on this. It honestly can't come soon enough. I know there's tons of planning and we have a lot of work still left to do before that point. But that's all I want, is just to kind of have our spot and just be making our first batch. This trip has just pumped me up even more. Obviously working with Geoff and seeing he's got his hands in 100 different pots, so just seeing him bounce around all the different stuff they're doing and how creative they are, I want to be doing the same thing and kind of bring it to the East Coast and give it a little East Coast flair.
Let's take a walk down memory lane and fondly recall some of the finest explosions from the second half of Season 2. Ha ha ha!